Hello, basketball fans. It's me, DC, here for Fantasy Basketball Analyzer to help you get ready for week 14 of the NBA and your fantasy season. What a week of basketball we've had. And I say that as a weird inside joke because you may or may not know it. I'm actually out of town and I've pre-recorded this video because I don't want to forget about you guys, but I don't want to take the camera and the computer and the microphone and all I've done it in prior years with me on a trip. And it would be nice not to record a video while I'm on the trip and I fly back on Friday. Anyway. So this is pre-recorded. Have a little patience with me. If you look at the visuals in here and we find out 25 games have been canceled and this video came out and it's wrong, if that happens, like I'll be following the league and watching games, I'll stop the video from coming out. But if I miss something in here, I will have it updated in the sheet. I always include the link down below so you can review it throughout the week, but the graphics may be out of date. With that said, let's get into it. We start every video with the pace and defensive efficiency, but because I'm pre-recording this video, like I said, these numbers are not updated on any week 13 action. This is all coming from week 12. It's the exact same data from the spreadsheet. If you go look in the spreadsheet, I may have updated live numbers while I'm out of town, but the video won't have it. So let's not belabor this point. Let's take the teams we know that are the best. I mean, we're halfway through the season now, and go ahead and apply it to the week 14 schedule. All right, for week 14, I warned you about it last week. We've got 3 teams with only 2 games. We're talking Houston, New Orleans, and Sacramento. So yeah, normally I wear the shirt of a team that's got a good matchup and they don't right now, but I haven't had a good excuse to wear Pelicans gear yet this season. So we're rocking with it. Anyway, not only do they only have 2 games, so 3 teams with 2 games. We have 4 teams with 3 games: Cleveland, Denver, Minnesota, Phoenix. Everyone else has 4. So even having a 3-game week in your weekly lock league is a significant disadvantage when you get across the lineup. You're really going to be giving up some games. You're still going to play your superstars, right? We're talking Cleveland and Phoenix. I'm not saying sit Booker or Mobley or anything like that. You play the guys at 3 games, but be aware that most of the players are going to have a lot more games than that, and that's going to have an impact on your week. For next week, look out. OKC and Washington only have 2 games, but it is a bit more normal, a more even divide between 3 and 4 weeks. 3 and 4 game weeks. So you don't have to worry about that as much, but 2 game weeks we always want to try and avoid, especially in weekly lock leagues for those of you that play that style. Let's go ahead and look at the back-to-backs. So there's not a ton of back-to-backs and they are spread out pretty much throughout the week. So you can do a little back-to-back chasing if you're trying to make smart moves and get people on 2 games. Look specifically at Tuesday where there's only 2 games. So if you pick up someone, say from the Knicks or Minnesota or Detroit, where one of those games is on the 2 games, then that could be helpful for you because you can make one move thinking ahead. Although it's really loaded either side, you might not get a lot of streaming use out of it, but keep an eye on that. For the fears of back-to-backs, meaning someone resting, let's run through it. Connolly, kinda again. I mentioned kinda for week 13. That's because he ended with a back-to-back, which means he obviously starts with a back-to-back, and then he does the same thing this week. He ends at Golden State as a back-to-back, so he might be resting in there. Horford, no back-to-back. Embiid, kinda, just like we talked about. He's got half of a back-to-back as far as the week falls. Eric Gordon, no. Dinwiddie, no. Curry, yes, he does have a back-to-back. It's not a given he's going to rest, but I am going to stay on top of that. Then Kyrie, 4 games on the road for Brooklyn. So we're not worried about back-to-back when we talk about this, but they're all on the road, so that's great. Although, I'm not super on top of what Washington's new mandate rule. So one of his road games is at Washington, which I think means he can't play there. It's different than the Brooklyn rule, and I'm not a legal expert or tracking all this. So I think he actually gets to play 3 of 4 games, but I could be wrong because maybe I even have the rule right and the start date of that new rule wrong. I'm not positive. So that's what's out there for Kyrie. You're going to get more games this week than most of the season with Kyrie as a part-time player, and great. If you hung on to him, good for you. Switching over to streaming, it's an interesting week for this. Normally we have a standout team that has, 3 good games or something like that. And not really. We've got 3 good streaming days. So Tuesday there's 2, Thursday there's 3, and Saturday there's 3. That's the total games. And those are really low. So that's great. So we want to attack Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. No team has all of those. So you kind of have to do a 2 halves of the week situation. So Golden State and the Knicks start the week with the Tuesday, Thursday matchup, which is better because Tuesday only has 2 games. So technically those games are more valuable by percentage points if I was weighting them. And then Indiana and Phoenix has 2 games for the latter half of the week. Obviously, they overlap on Thursday, what I'm talking about, so you're not necessarily making a clean switch here. So you can just play Golden State and then jump to Cleveland, because they also have 1 Saturday game, because functionally what you're trying to create here is your streaming slots to have a 3-game week on these 3 streamings, right? That's really what you want to go after. And luckily, none of these teams that, well, I shouldn't say none of the teams. Most of the teams that have good streaming weeks aren't the teams that have 2 games next week. Oklahoma City does have a good streamer on Saturday, but then they got a 2-game week. So be careful of that. If you pick that up and you're counting your moves and trying to get use out of it next week, that may not be the most savvy move you could do. It'd be more interesting to grab someone from Indiana because they've got a 4-game week next week, and maybe you can just hang on to them and keep going with that. That's going to do it for this week. Really short video, partly because I'm gone, so I don't have other news and notes. If you got questions, comments, leave them down below. Hit me up on Twitter. I'll be back to do the waiver video here in person, in studio with the good audio quality. That's part of why I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to take all the gear, and I didn't want to give you a weird, shaky phone video. Although maybe we'll do one on Twitter, or I don't know. I've never posted on TikTok. Maybe that'll happen while I'm gone. I don't know. Good luck for week 14. Thank you for watching. Questions, comments down below. Link is down below. Go out and win your week. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. It helps me grow the channel. If you want more videos like this, hit subscribe or even the little bell will give you alerts, and I'll be back soon with another video for you.